choke like a bitch.
Come on!
Are you ready to be a good little boy?
Yes! I'll abide by all your rules. You're lucky I don't punch you in the face. Man, that fucking killed. Like, why are we here?
Look around. Welcome to hell.
Okay, let's get one thing straight.
I'm listening.
You thought
Yeah?
bringing a Portuguese
Uh-huh.
to a construction yard
Pork chop.
was teaching me a lesson? This is the most comfortable I have been since I've known you!
Good point. Fuck you.
Oh, fuck you too! Can we just go along with this segment, please? Holy shit, thanks. I like it here.
You're lying. See you here.
Okay, fine. I'm so terrified. This weekend we have UFC Fight Night 137 in Brazil!
Why do you have to say it like an idiot?
Because I'm trying to be fancy.
Shut the fuck up.
No, you shut the fuck up! Fine! God, you're the boss. Real tough behind that camera there. Holy shit!
Butterfingers.
What the fuck? Calm down, Hector. Your mom should have... UFC Fight Night 137 in Brazil is almost promised. I hope so, because I don't want to say promised, because every time I do, I just get fucked. But the UFC put it together to be one hell of a bang-ass night. Top bangers, top finishers, fighters that don't like to let their fights go to decision. First fight we're going to talk about is Smiling Sam Alvey.
What are you doing?
I'm smiling. I'm just trying to, give dramatic effect.
Sit down.
Fine! Against a long-time MMA vet, UFC, Pride Fighting FC, a long-time hero in the sport of MMA, in Antonio Rogerio Nogueira, aka Little Nog. So let's just start off by calling a spade a spade. It's been almost 2 years. November of 2016 was last time Rogerio Nogueira even fought, succumbing to a brutal knockout loss to Ryan fucking Bader. But before that, he knocked out top light heavyweight prospect then and now in Patrick Cummins. So the one thing you could say about Rogerio Nogueira that was actually different than Big Nog was he actually likes to box a lot more than his older brother does. He's phenomenal on the ground, but he is one of those fighters that doesn't like to take it to the mat too much if he doesn't have to. Although he is good on the mat, he prefers standing up and using his boxing ability, which he's very, very good at. However, Sam Alvey is one of the most durable fighters on the UFC roster. Although I hate to see that stupid smiley face. Maybe just because I'm jealous, because I wish I had a lot to smile for.
Hey! I'm making you dinner. That hurt.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I should smile for the fact that maybe you'll give me corn on the cob tonight if I'm good. That's cool.
You want this fist?
No, that's enough nutrients. That's good. Thank you. Sam Alvey's coming off a 2-fight win streak. One in his latest decision victory against Gian Vellante. And before that, top prospect, Marcin Perchino. Who the hell is that? I don't know. Do you?
That's your job.
Yeah, I know it's my job. I'm just trying to get interact. You! Your face. Rogerio is one of those veterans that you cannot look past. The reason is because although he hasn't fought in a long time and although he is getting a little bit older, he has fought the very best of the best. Going up against guys like Shogun in his prime, going up against Rashad Evans in his prime, Tito, Phil Davis, Louise Kane, Ryan Bader again. Whether or not he wins or loses is one thing. But the one thing that he's got going for him for sure is that experience. So this ring rust, will it play a factor? I'm not too sure because the last time he had a ring rust, his actual UFC debut when he came to fight Louise Kane, and he actually won that very, very decisively. However, Sam Alvey is one of those fighters that's constantly active in the roster. He's picking up those short notice fights. He's just one of those guys that I just want to slap the shit out of because no matter what, he's always fucking smiling. And it's a stupid smile. Sorry, Sam Alvey, but seriously, it drives me fucking crazy. Anyways, this is gonna be a very interesting fight because Sam Alvey gonna close the distance and he's gonna try to take it to the ground and pound because you don't really want to take it to the ground with somebody the jiu-jitsu black belt, especially if Nogueira himself. He's gonna try to have to keep his distance, which to be honest won't be that hard to do anyways because I think he's gonna have the fight that Nogueira also wants as well, and that's to stand up and trade punches. I think just because Sam Alvey has proven to be the much more durable fighter and of course the obvious, the much more active fighter in the last coming years and the top of the competition in the UFC, I think I see Sam Alvey just wearing Nogueira out and winning this by decision. I think it'll be a very, very fun fight, maybe back and forth. Nogueira, obviously, like I said, he will probably come in this a little bit rusty. His body's not going to be repaired the same. He's getting a lot older. So I am giving this to Sam Alvey via unanimous decision. Absolutely. Next up, we have Carlo Pedersoli and Alex La Cowboy Oliveira.
Where'd you get that?
I got it from your locker room. The one with all the sex swings and the blow-up dolls and stuff.
Huh? Not Bonnie?
No, we can cut that part out. No one will know. Can I wear it? Save a cowboy and ride this middle finger, buddy. Oh, shit. It was a fucking joke. Chill out. Fine, I'll put it down. Carlo Pedersoli is 11-1, and he's riding an 8-fight winning streak, with his last fight being his UFC debut against Bradley Scott.
Who?
I don't know who Bradley Scott is either.
He sounds like an idiot.
He does sound like an idiot. Hey, did we just agree on something? Nice!
No.
Just when I think we're getting close, eh? A win over Cowboy could really shoot you up the rankings, because to be honest, nobody knows who you are. But you know what? This is only to your benefit. It is a win-win situation for you. We got two different style fighters though here as well, because Carlos is more of a submission fighter, but Oliveira prefer to stand up and use his reach to kind of kick the fucking shit out of you and elbow you in the face. The difference in competition that these guys have faced too is just astronomical, where the Cowboy, coming off of a huge win against previous welterweight interim champion Carlos Condit, and before that coming off a devastating TKO loss, but against such a high caliber fighter in Yancy Medeiros. He shared the octagon with Cowboy fucking Cerrone. I think Carlos is to come out there and really rush towards Cowboy right away and try not to give him any time or any space to use his weapons, which to be honest is probably a smart idea. You want to close that distance and limit his arsenal of weapons, but I think Cowboy's far too veteranized. Is that a word? Whatever, I'm gonna use it. I think Cowboy is far too veteranized inside the octagon, and that's just gonna prove to be to Carlos's demise. So if I'm gonna have to call this fight, I'm gonna say the Cowboy Oliveira, being the knockout and the striking artist that he is, I think he's gonna get a TKO probably within the first round. Usually what happens when these fighters fight a guy that's such a top tier name, they want to go in there and go crazy right away and kind of blow their whole gasket on this full of energy and just try to scare off and finish those top opponents. I think that's what Carlos is gonna try to mimic this weekend, but I don't think it's gonna work. Cowboy all day. Mark my words. Can I go pee?
Nope.
The final fight is a huge fight, and one that I've been personally waiting for a long time. And finally, they got these two matching up. Thiago Santos finally said, you know what? Let's go up to the 205 division and see what we can do there, which is great because he didn't have to cut as much weight. He's going to be far stronger in this division. He's going up against also knockout artist and Jimi Manuwa. Neither of these fighters like to let it go to decision. Thiago Santos is 5 in his last 6 fights, 4 of those victories coming by TKO. When he hits you, part of your body will for sure succumb to some sort of paralysis. However, Jimi Manuwa was known for that one-punch knockout power as well. The biggest difference is Thiago Santos has so many more different weapons in his arsenal. He can kick your face off, he can knee you to a fucking oblivion. So that's gonna play a major difference in this fight. Jimi Manuwa is gonna want to stay close, not want to keep it back too much, because that's where Thiago is going to want to work. His reach is really long. Thiago Santos is a big motherfucker. Now, I know Jimi Manuwa has that experience going up against guys like Kari Anderson, Ovince St. Preux. I think Jimi Manuwa's probably got a little bit more of a gas tank though than Thiago Santos. His last loss is coming against Jan Blachowicz by unanimous decision, but he stuck in there for that full 15 minutes, and that just proves the gas tank that he has. And also before that, he had a devastating knockout loss to Volkan Oezdemir. So is this going to play in Jimmy's mind? Because I know that Thiago Santos 2 fights ago, his last loss was against David Branch by devastating knockout as well. But since then, he has come back with a very decisive win. So now he's kind of back in that win column, where Jimi Manuwa is kind of like struggling, almost at the point of struggling for his job.
I can't lose 3 in a row or I might fucking get cut, and I won't even be close to the top 15 of the division.
You don't want this to stay in the judges' hands. This fight is going to end in the first round. Thiago Santos all day. He's going to win on his home turf in Brazil. Actually, to be honest, it's probably going to be a full-out Brazilian night, minus Nogueira. But of course, I can't ever not side with... Yeah! Cowboy! It's cowboy time, baby! Woo! Ah!
Oops.